Hey, how's it going? Today, I'm going to show you my tackle. Okay, so the kind of fishing that I do is light lure fishing. So things like drop shotting, spinning, and jigging. The reason I chose these methods, they're sort of my gateway into the world or the sport of fishing. And it's because my eyes aren't great. This is all about trying to show people with visual impairments that you can still do fishing. It's not just small, tiny knots and small, tiny floats and all that kind of stuff. The good thing about soft lure fishing is that a lot of it's done by touch. So you can feel you're not waiting for a float to drop to feel a bite. You're not watching the tip of your rod to feel a bite. You're literally feeling it with the tips of your fingers. And that's what has given me the confidence to go out and do these things by myself, with little help. So what I want to do is show you the kit that I've got, and talk you through why these things are useful for me as someone with a visual impairment. So bear in mind, I'm new to this still. I haven't been fishing for too long. There's going to be things that I've got perhaps that more experienced anglers would question. There might be things that you think are a bit overkill, but there's reasons behind those things, and we'll talk them through. And hey, I'm on a journey, same as everyone else. So I will change my methods and ways I do things as I go on. So let's show you what I've got first. Now, this was my first rod. This was just a drop shot rod. It was a kit that I found on Amazon. So you see it's got like a funky drop shot, right? Is that even going to come up? Oh yeah, it is. It is the right way up. So it's just got that drop shot logo on it. I don't know who makes this rod. This has got quite a high casting rate on it, actually. Which I don't know if it's quite right or accurate, but it's up to 25 grams, I believe. It comes in two parts, 7 foot long, nice little handle there. There's your attachment for the reel. And literally, I got this off Amazon. It came as a full set, so it came with a rod, it came with a reel, it came with 2 pre-tied drop shot rigs, and 2 weights. The reel itself broke after a few trips out, so it wasn't the greatest reel in the world, so I have replaced that. And since getting this, I've had a birthday, and my folks kindly bought me a new rod for my birthday, so I'll show you that next. Just quickly, a little feature I do like about this rod is that it's got a white tip. It's quite nice to be able to see where the rod tip is when you've got it out over the water. Again, not to see it flex when I've got a bite. It's just nice to know where the tip is, just so I can see that it's not getting too close to the water, or I'm not going to catch it on any kind of overhanging branches or anything like that. But it being white shows up quite nicely. It might show up nicely in other colours for other people. So I'll do a little mod video on my other rod because that doesn't have this feature. So I'll talk through that on another video. Alright, so here's the new rod. So again, I got this as a gift. This is a Corum snapper, 6 foot long. Cast weight is from 1 to 7 grams. I've got a Daiwa Ninja reel on here. It's a 2000 size. And I've got some yellow braid. And the braid that I've got on this is has got a break weight of 20 pounds. Yeah, it's got a break weight of 20 pounds. Sorry, I forgot what I was saying then. Which the majority of you will probably think that's complete overkill, but this is nice and thick, so I can see it. And again, I'll do some braid comparison videos as well. I've got some different bits of braid and things, so we can have a look. And that's one of the things I want to experiment on as well, is what's easy for me to see. And what's easy for me to see isn't going to be the same for other people, obviously. We've all got different sight and stuff like that. So it's got this is a nice lightweight rod. Like I say, 6 foot. Comes in 2 parts. And I've got this set up at the moment with a drop shot rig on there that I tied myself. And this isn't one of the pre-tied ones that I showed you the other week. Okay, and like I say, excuse me, this has got a nice fine tip on it, but it's doesn't stand out that well. So I'll do a little hack on this. I think you can get other tips for rods, so do have a look around. If you want to change the tip of your rod, you can buy them online if you want to spend the money, that is. All right, let's show you what else I've got. This is just a net. Twist it and it extends, and you can have it as short as you like. Again, at this stage, to me, a net is just a net. You can get loads of different types, and it's the same with everything. All of this stuff, there is so much out there. There's hundreds of nets, thousands of nets. So do a look around. You can get folding ones to make it easier to carry. This one doesn't fold. It literally just is that. Extend it, shorten it, whatever. Yeah, there you go. Cool. So I've got my tackle box here. So in here I've got a variety of different soft lures, from frogs to crayfish looking type things, like that. We've got some tube lures, we got some minnows, and some little finesse lures. I quite like these sort of larvae, sort of bugs. I've got my pre-tied, some of my pre-tied jigs there and jig heads. Got some drop shot weights, and I've got some little fake maggots as well. I don't really know what I'm going to use fake maggots for, but I might have a go with them at some point. So that's my tackle box. So we've got the pre-tied rigs that I've spoken about before. We've got the drop shot rig there. We have got the wire trace there. So have a look in another video at more detail on those. So we've got a selection of hooks here, different sizes, different brands. At the moment, I'm going sort of more smaller, catching slightly smaller fish, but there are larger hooks there if need be. Jig heads, I've got a few different sizes in this tin. So it's just making sure I've got a nice selection of hooks, just in case I want to swap anything out while I'm out and about. Having a pair of these sort of clamp scissors and some kind of normal kitchen scissors or whatever, or a little knife are really handy if you're wanting to cut off a bit of line or retie anything and get rid of what you've already got. A little knife or a little pair of scissors is going to be really handy. If you choose to go for a knife, remember to check the laws in the area that you live. With these little scissors, these clamp scissors, they're really good. They're not sharp at all, but if you're wanting to unhook anything that's got teeth, like a pike, you don't want to stick your fingers in there. So these kind of clamp scissors will help you out a lot. So definitely get yourself some of them. And lastly, some lines. So I've got this braid here. Now, when it comes to braid, my understanding is that you want to look for the more expensive stuff, the quality of the line, rather than the cheap stuff that's just going to break on you. I don't know much about brands at the moment. I don't know whether this is a fantastic brand or not. It was a little bit more on the expensive side, which is why I bought it. And it's done me well so far. I've not had anything break on me, so it's worth a shout. Obviously, there's hundreds of different brands out there for you to try out. So have a shop around, see what you can find. Places like AliExpress, Amazon, your local tackle shops are good places to start. And that's it. Nice and simple stuff, really. There isn't a huge amount that you need to actually be able to go out and do this. You know, like with everything, you could go and spend an absolute fortune if you wanted to, or you can start off cheap and get more expensive stuff later down the line when you're happy that you're enjoying the hobby and know what you're doing. That first rod setup I showed you that I got from Amazon, that came with the rod, the reel, the drop shot setup, that cost me £30. That was last year in 2020. I'll have a look on Amazon. If it's still on there, I'll send you a link. I did see it on other websites too, so do shop around. The Corum snapper, the 6-foot rod that I showed you there that I've got rigged up at the moment, Like I said, I got that as a gift, but I did have a look. They retail at about 60 quid, depending where you get them from. So it's on that little bit more expensive side, and that was just for the rod, nothing else. The reel that I got to replace the NAF one that came with my Amazon rod, that cost, again, in the region of £30 plus, and there are different ranges of those kind of reels. For the Daiwa reels, and they seem to be pretty good. A lot of people talk about those and rate them, so have a look at those if you are needing a new reel. But again, there's so much out there. Look at reviews, look at videos, and again, look at the features that you need that you think are going to help you out if you can't see that well, if you struggle with your eyesight. Those are the things that you're going to want to look at to make sure you can get the most out of doing your fishing and getting it right and catching fish, because it's pain in the ass when you're blank. So I'm going to try and get out there over the next couple of weekends. It's a bit tough with the restrictions, the way they are, and the weather. It's been quite cold and wet, but we'll give it a go. Hopefully I'll be able to get you a bit of fishing content so you can see me doing what I do. But in the meantime, stay safe, look after yourselves, and try not to fall in.